Just the other day, we talked about this whole deep dive that Smash JT got inside info on from a whistleblower at Firewalk Studios who made Concord, this really woke game that has robots with pronouns. And it was discovered that basically the creative director was this weird lunatic that wanted to be called the professor, even though they aren't an actual professor. Lisa Brown, aka Whirl, on Twitter. And they're basically a non-binary individual that forced everyone at the company to call them professor. And if they didn't call him professor, it was met with, I guess, a toxic work environment. Also, it's been discovered that this company has this whole progressive woke toxic culture where if you go against the grain at all, if you aren't cool with anything woke, you will essentially be looking for a new job. Yeah, it's kind of weird, and I've experienced that in the past at some jobs where if you lean right at all, God forbid you tell them that you're a Republican, you will instantly be, I guess, exiled from the workplace. But oh man, they could sit here all day and inject their pronouns and everything. So yeah, we talked about this lunatic that pushed extreme politics, hated guns, and wanted unvaccinated staff fired. Well, shortly after that, very dark, exposed another individual at Firewalk Studios. This is a senior concept artist who's been working on Concord, and they said they've had a history of attacking gamers who criticized upcoming games like Silent Hill 2 Remake and have been vocal about their hate for Grums, even calling his rhetoric dangerous. And this is one thing that you've also seen in the past before, that people like Grums and all these right-wing grifters, we brainwash our audiences that are a whole bunch of morons that can't think any better, and they just fall for this fake outrage, right? Nobody wants y'all's bullshit. And look, let's look at these tweets from her. She basically just copes and sieves over people being upset about Silent Hill 2 Remake. And that there's right-wing fans complaining about the way Angela looks, and that it's telling that we're talking about a character who's a sexual assault incest victim. And yeah, just sick in the head. You can see this guy Grums was just sad and funny at first, but this is actually defending a predator. At this point, this guy's rhetoric is dangerous. And this is him basically saying, hey, his opinion or a question in regards to Dr. Disrespect. Because remember, all these loonies, all these wokies, as soon as the Dr. Disrespect allegations came out, they were shoving them in our face. If you said, hey, we want more evidence, it was sweeping on the rug for a pedo. Remember, this Chris Tyson stuff's coming out with Discord leaks and all sorts of really revealing evidence. I would say even more so than what Dr. Disrespect said. And all these wokies, they're radio silent on calling Chris Tyson out because they're LGBTQ, because they're transgender. Now, here's something funny that I discovered. I found out that this individual that we're talking about has me blocked already. Interesting how that works. Maybe they saw that I follow Grums. Maybe they've seen that I make content calling Concord out. Maybe they've seen me call out a listener Conte. But yeah, this individual that we're talking about, at Imagine Amanda, who's a senior concept artist at Firewalk Studios, which made Concord, which is right now struggling in its closed beta. Its peak concurrent viewers were abysmal. I think this studio is going to shut down. And it's sad because Sony got them. Sony bought them. They brought out this game, but unfortunately it is infected with DEI. And that doesn't work, guys. When you go broke, when you go woke, you go broke. I mean, and DEI kills art. Now, here's a tweet from the past from Grums that this individual got extremely triggered about. So you can see he's saying there's a huge problem with the industry, just like in movies. When they have meetings to discuss why a movie or game failed, the one thing they can't talk about is pandering to the narrative. It's impossible to have an honest discussion about what would fix these games and movies, and that's why they keep making terrible decisions. Cancel culture caused this. Enforced by HRDEI caused this. It's a trap they can't get out of. And that's exactly it. That's exactly it. You got all these movies, TV shows, video games that are just injecting with the stuff that people are turning down. It's not just a right-wing grift. And even if it is, that shows you that the majority of people don't want this crap. It's so weird that they pledge for diversity, right? And they want a whole bunch of people that are diverse, but guess what? It's only based on how you look and what your gender is. But you can't be diverse with your train of thought. If you go against their echo chamber, you're a right-wing grifter and you're a problem. Now, you can see she essentially just loses it. She says, "This guy is a lolcow. I'm genuinely entertained by his tweets because it's such a sad money grab." That's what it is. It's a grift. If you don't agree with it, they're a grifter. He lied about a leaked email at Firewalk when no such thing has ever happened. Per the email, we apparently saw people's criticism about pronouns in Concord as white noise. They absolutely did. Emo or not, they always just deny it. Oh, it's just a right-wing grift. I mean, they had fucking robots with pronouns. Ridiculous. So she's absolutely triggered and unhinged on the internet. You can see that she just has some of the most weirdest takes ever on her social media. And that's something that all these modern feminists have in common. They have some kind of weird woke ideology wrong with them where they just act completely insufferable. They don't know how to handle anything. They make a complete ass of themselves. Then they hide under protected tweets. And if you don't agree with them, you're a racist bigot. You're misogynistic. You're everything under the sun but a son of God. And I mean, honestly, just nuts. And I find it on brand, honestly, that I'm blocked. It's fine. This doesn't make me lose any sleep. It's just so funny how sensitive these people that are so outspoken on the internet, that are such activists, that try to be very opinionated on what people should follow and what issues they should believe in, and that they want everybody to think in the same woke ideologies. They're so quick to hide protected tweets, block, call you names, bunch of weak individuals, very weak-minded, and it's a shame because they look really talented. And all this stuff is coming out about Firewalk Studios. This game is dead. This game was dead on arrival. You see all this weird stuff that's being infected. I mean, apparently you can't even just be a normal person wanting to do your job at Firewalk Studios without having to be forced to call somebody the professor and having to accept this toxic woke culture in the workplace, which shouldn't be there to begin with. Now, some people are responding, and it's actually really great. You can see Sile was saying, maybe if the thin-skinned artist blocks all the gamers, their studio will shut down faster. Sony really went all in on pussies because of its heterosexual phobia. This is what you get, Sony games, for pussies by pussies with plenty of hide. And yeah, I agree. It's for all these ESG points. Everybody has all these inclusivity manuals and ways to be diverse and all this fucking shit that they teach them in fucking college now. It's amazing how far society has gone with good intention. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. If diversity really happened naturally, we wouldn't need the stuff injected and enforced. Just let it happen. All right? It's sick. It's so frustrating. I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was so happy that they even made jokes against woke mob in there. It was great. Now, you can see, look at this. Here's an example of a tweet of this lunatic, Amanda. I'm not sure why more people aren't talking about Trump's 1776 commission, where he will further whitewash the teaching of American history in schools. He wants to make it so slavery, genocide, and the systematic destruction of POC is not taught in schools. That's ultimately what it fucking is, guys. And if I don't know better, I think this woman is white. But they all have been taught to hate white men. All of them. Every single wokey out there. If you look through their Twitter, there's tweets hating white men. Even the white men hate white men. That's what they've been taught. White men bad. These guys are fucking poisoned. And they don't want that to be taken away from them. That's why they're freaking out about stuff like this, because they're going to stop teaching this stuff in school. And then the woke mind will be gone. The woke sickness will be gone. Continue on, you can see, I think it's wonderful to win over Trump voters. Many are brain dead, but many are not. And it's great to bring right people left. So she's basically talking about converting people to wokey. I don't fucking know. But this is what it's all about. It's all about their Trump derangement system, or Trump derangement syndrome, and hating on white men. That's all these guys have. This literally makes her feel like she's important in life when she has talents. She could literally draw art and make something good of this world. And instead, she's actually a wannabe political activist who's thin skinned, apparently. And Sile also said something great about Concord in general. Identity obsessed garbage men of a feather flock together, that they even call attention to themselves, show how incapable of objectively looking at anything they are, a cult. And he's just talking about in general everybody that works at Concord and the Concord character design. It's a mess at this place, guys. Smash JT has this source that's just leaking all of this info about the day to day operations of this studio. And you hate to see people lose their jobs because they're not woke enough, but working at a toxic workplace like Firewalk Studios doesn't sound like a good time. And it looks like all these people might not work there longer if they keep it up. I think this game is going to basically close this studio down. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts.